Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Tower Strong Project. I'm going to try to get two in this week.
Yeah, it's even though it's been busy, we still really enjoy doing these podcasts because we just feel like somebody needs to hear it, even if, you know, we have a very, small audience, but that's really not what our goal is. Our goal is to get if even if one person listens to our podcast, we're happy. You know, it'll make a difference one day.
Yeah, we don't do this on account of because we have to. We do it because we want to.
Right. I mean, I feel like it's kind of therapeutic, I think, in a sense. You just kind of get to talk to people, who anyone who's willing to listen, really. But tonight's podcast is a little bit different. It's kind of like cliche in a sense because it's like, okay, that's really nothing new. It's not like it's groundbreaking when you ask yourself, what is your purpose for your life? But I think it's a question that is definitely more, it's often asked more than you think. And I'll be honest with you, I find myself asking that on a daily basis sometimes.
Yeah, and what really made me think about the subject was uh, like a second wind, second mountain. We're taught or programmed or whatever you want to call it that we've got to do things in our 20s and 30s to get things set in life, and after that you just kind of coast.
Well, I
And
mean, I think, and this is something that we want our kids and we drive our kids to do. It's like we make plans for them. You know, you grow up, you finish high school, you go to college, you graduate college, you get married, you have a few kids. Then what? And that's the part I see a lot. Even of some of my close friends, I see them in that kind of crossroad.
yeah, I mean we're in that crossroad. I mean, but it don't work out every time like you think it's going to work out. I mean,
Yeah,
you push your kids to do better than you did.
exactly.
So what's better in reality? I mean, what's better than we did?
Knowing what I know now, what's better is that they're still alive and they're healthy and they love us as much as we love them. We have a great relationship with our kids. I have to say, it's not perfect, but they'll always be your kids no matter what. So you'll always have disagreements, but we do things as a family. They still like to be around us and hang out with their mom and pop, you know. I mean, I have to say, mm, and this may sound like it's low, but really that I feel like I'm lucky. I'm blessed for my kids to still be alive and to be healthy and and they work, and um they have fulfilling lives. I mean, I don't know exactly what goes through their mind, probably the same thing that went through my mind at their age. Because
Yeah,
even then I was questioning, okay, now what?
yeah.
You know?
I mean, just like I said, we're taught at a young age that we got to do all this while we're young and get it in before we're in our mid 30s, or it ain't going to happen. And I'll give you a prime example of that. I mean, you take pop music, rock music, you never hear a band or a pop artist getting signed at age 60. You know, it just don't happen.
No,
But you
they're
do
usually
hear,
young.
right. So, but why can't they get signed at 60?
I mean, because everybody has the mentality that, oh gosh, you're 50, 60, your life's
Right.
almost over, which is complete horse crap. I mean, you know,
It's programmed into us that we got to get all that accomplished before we hit a certain age. And, I was one of those people. I wanted to do music when I was a kid. And, after kind of the 20s passed, I thought, well, it ain't going to happen, so I'll just quit. So I did for a while, but now I realize that, dang, I got more time than I'm ever have. I'm more stable than we've ever been.
yeah.
So why can't I do music? Which I do, now. I do a lot of music. I mean, whoever listens to it, but I mean, I get enjoyment from it. But just because you're past 50 don't mean you can't accomplish more goals. I mean, heck, I'm 57 and we're doing a podcast. I'd have never thought about this
Oh
in
yeah.
2005.
If you'd have told me we would be doing a podcast 5 years ago, I'd been like, "You're crazy. You're nuts." But I don't know if it's where when you do get older, I mean, I'm not going to deny it. When you do get older, you do start to maybe create a bucket list, or you do try to, do things that are out of your realm that you thought, "No way, I would never be doing that." And I think that is an accomplishment,
I mean, what is,
in itself.
what is your purpose other than to enjoy life and live life, you know?
I think that's so important, and I think that life, and this is, something that is always said, but I don't think we really take it to heart like we should. I really do believe that you should live your life, with contentment and happiness, because it is precious. I really do believe life is a gift. I really do with all my heart. And it is precious, and enjoy every moment of it. But I think that we just exhaust ourselves. We exhaust ourselves with our jobs, our stress, our bank accounts, you know.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that's on purpose. I mean, they don't want us having a fulfilled life like and I'll give you just take animals for instance. Humans are the only animal species that know what we're going to die. We're the only animal species that know we're going to die. Animals
You
don't
don't
give
think
it.
animals
Well,
think about that?
they don't give it a second thought. I mean, they're living life to the fullest every day,
Well, yeah.
and
At our expense.
they don't give it a second thought. And when it comes time for them to go, it's like it's okay. I mean, let me go, and because I'm ready for it. But humans, on the other hand, the older we get, you get that in your head. I mean, sometimes I ain't gonna lie, I go into panic attacks because in 4 years, I'm going to be 60. I mean, and that don't seem possible to me, but yeah, sometimes it's a fearful thing that's been programmed into us, though.
Well, can you believe the friend that I was talking to on the phone earlier? She's going to be 70 in July.
70.
70.
She don't look 70.
No, she don't. I told her that. And she gets around, still. I mean, she's got bumps and bruises, but she's going to be 70.
No, I didn't ever. I thought she was probably my.
I thought she was your age too when I first met her. But no, she's going to be 70 next July.
Wow. She definitely don't look 70. I
Mm-mm.
will say that.
Well, you see, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I admire her, because she doesn't really let anything get her down. She is constantly doing something. She is busy. And she always has told me if she sat there and did nothing, her mind would eat her up. Just the things,
But
her thoughts and
I mean,
things like
well,
that.
that's just like my dad. He's 78, going to be 79, and he works every day. He don't have to. He wants to. And I don't know, I think it
Yeah,
keeps him going.
keeps him going.
I
That's
mean,
right.
if he just retired and sat at home, I don't think he'd last long. But he's bound and determined to get up and go to work.
Yeah.
And that's what he wants to do. And, there was a time where I said, Dad, why don't you just stop? But then I thought, yeah, you're going to be miserable. I mean, I know my dad. He's not happy sitting around or trying to come
Well,
up with
he's worked
something.
all his life.
And but he's 70 and he's already worked longer probably at the job he's in now than the job he had before.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's kind of cool to me. I
Yeah.
mean, it's his second win. He'd done something else that he wanted to do. And I don't know. I think there's so many people out here that don't have that listen to what you're programmed to do. Oh, after a certain age, you just need to give it up, which ain't true.
Yeah.
You don't have to give it up. I mean, good Lord. I mean, you hear people talking against AI, against, all this stuff. I'm going to be honest. We're living in the greatest time right now in history.
Why do you say that?
I mean, 20 years ago, could you have done this? No,
No.
no. I mean, 25 years ago, this was insane. Nobody ever thought about doing this. Could you do? We couldn't have done it. I mean, AI. A lot of people don't realize AI has been around a long time. It's just
Oh,
advanced.
yeah, much longer.
And yeah, I mean, but I mean, we're living in the greatest time, in my opinion, than ever in history. Now, do I agree with the flock cameras? No. Do I agree with data centers, all this, if it's true, what they're saying? No. But I'm not sure that all that's true. We're getting fed, remember, we get fed the bad propaganda. I mean, uh, but I mean, yeah, I mean, I enjoy my second wind. I enjoy coming in here and recording a song and putting it on TikTok or whatever. Yeah, I'm 57 years old on TikTok. Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
enjoy
I mean,
I enjoy doing that. And but I'd have never thought in my 30s that I'd be doing that. But is that my purpose? I don't know. I mean, my purpose has changed a few times. I mean, at one time I thought my purpose was church. I thought that was the purpose. Then my eyes were open to a lot of that. So it wasn't the purpose. It's again what I was told,
right.
you know?
That's kind of like how it was with me, where, I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed singing and I enjoyed the time the impact it had in my life. And I still believe that during those times when I did sing a lot in church, that, somebody had to hear it, somebody needed to hear it. But a lot of times I had often wondered, when I started to open my eyes a lot and leave the church, I was thinking, okay, so why does my music vocal ability tend to touch people in a way that usually it's not, you know, it's it's different. And I mean, it wasn't very long that I figured out, well, I know why. Because even though I was in the church, my connection with God was still there. And when I left, my connection with God grew stronger. So it was like, I always felt like, okay, you've got to have that connection. You've got to connect with God in a way that allows you to bring out or sing out your purpose or whatever it is you need to do. Um, and the fact that I feel like I know I can communicate with animals, nature, just, it's different. My purpose is different. And I feel like my purpose is to enjoy my life and cherish it
And I agree.
and be there for my family. My family is, I hear people struggling all the time, exhaustion, just, it's a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
It really can be. If you're not careful, you really can. And don't get me wrong, I understand you have to work. You got bills to pay. You have to provide for your family. That's just part of life. But I also feel like your approach makes a big difference on how you view things. You can view it like, okay, this isn't the end. I'm not going to sit behind this desk for the rest of my life. You can do things. You can go out of that box and do things. It just does take some planning. So,
Now, would I like for this podcast to take off? And yeah.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
really would. But I'm not going to quit my job tomorrow and bank on it.
Exactly.
But I mean, I think as long as you keep going and you try and you talk truth and honesty, that people will listen.
Mhm.
And I think we've got away from a lot of truth and honesty. I mean, people do. I mean, I even told a guy the other day at work, it's hard to carry on a conversation with anybody anymore because you don't know. You don't know if they're telling you the truth or filling you full of crap. And it didn't used to be that way. You know what I mean? It never
Mhm.
used to be that way, but now it is. And well, we got to look at the good side of things, you know. I mean, I do have a good job. I do. Don't necessarily like it, but I do
Right.
have a pretty good paying job. That don't make me like it, but I do do the best that I can do at that job while I'm there.
Right. And it's not easy. It really isn't because even during the time when you are doing your job, when I'm doing my job, I think, okay, is this it? Is that I'm gonna do? Is I gonna be just, I mean, I can't help but think things like that because it does cross my mind. But that's up to me. That's up to me. That's not up to you. That's not up to our listeners. That's up to me.
Right.
Is it? Is this where it ends? You know?
I mean, it is up to you. I
I
mean, you can
mean,
do, I mean, I will say this. I mean, sometimes you teach your kids that they can be anything they want to be. Sometimes that's not necessarily the truth. Because sometimes you can't be what you want to be just by specs alone. So I mean, you gotta look at the reality of things,
mhm.
and
Well, I mean, there's a reality. I mean, I could encourage. If my child wants to be something, then I could encourage and I could say, "Hey, look, you can do that, but you got to put the work in it. It's not
right.
going to fall on your lap." I've always felt like I
But
can encourage my kids to do it, but whether it happens or not is up to them. We can't do it for them.
what I'm talking about is, I mean, and I heard it explained the other day pretty decently. Okay, wonder if your 8-year-old kid loved horses and he wanted to be a jockey on the racehorse. That's what he wanted to do.
Hmm.
And you're telling him, okay, you can do anything you want to do. Okay. But say this same kid turns 12 years old and he weighs 200 pounds and he's 5'8" at 12 years old. Okay, that already throws him out of the ring as being a jockey to ride a horse. Because I think the limit is like 5 foot
Yeah.
and
They
110
want you to
pounds.
be small.
So, I mean, he can't do that, even though he wants to. Now, he can ride horses, but he can't be a horse race jockey.
Unless he starved himself.
He still couldn't. He's too tall. It strikes him out of that limit. I mean, they got a height and a weight.
Well, I can't help but think about that movie Rudy. Remember Rudy?
Yeah,
I mean, he was 5 foot nothing practically. This was a story that took place, and it was a true story that took place. I think Sean Astin played the character of Rudy. And it was about where since he was like 10 years old, he told his whole family he was going to play football for the University of Notre Dame. And of course, they laughed it off and they were like, yeah, sure. Uh huh. You know, and, next thing you know, I mean, so many years later, they're carrying him off the field in Notre Dame. I mean, he was little, he didn't have the height, he didn't have the weight, you know, but he had the heart. He had the heart. So I don't know, I mean, yeah, you're right. Probably he can't be a disc jockey, but he can do something with horses,
right. I
you
mean, he
know.
can do something with horses, but he couldn't race on a horse.
I'm just saying it's not everything is impossible,
Nothing's impossible.
you
Don't get
know.
me wrong. I mean, there was a case, because I actually went back and looked that up. There was a case where somebody 6'2" rode a horse and won in a horse race. There is a case of that.
I thought there
Uh,
was. I was
the
thinking about that earlier. I was
Yeah,
like, wait a minute. I think
but
there was a case.
he died because he starved himself to death,
That's horrible.
and it it messed with his heart, and he had so many days to lose X amount of pounds to ride this horse. Even though he was over height, he the weight had to come down, and he did that, and he actually died on the horse while it was racing and won. The horse won. But what is your purpose?
Definitely not to be a jockey. That's for
I
sure.
mean, what I don't know that we're put here for one purpose or a particular.
No, I don't. I don't.
I
I
think
think I
your
used to believe that, but I don't
I
anymore.
think your purpose changes. I mean, for this time, your purpose might be this.
Well, it changes as you get older,
Yeah,
and as you complete milestones in your life. It changes, and it's kind of like you go from taking to being a giver,
right,
and that's part of where I guess the older you get, the more wiser you become. That certain things are not as important or not weren't as important as you thought they were.
right.
You know.
I mean, I agree. I mean, I'm I, I'm going to listen to a 70-year-old before I'm going to listen to a 30-year-old. Okay, I mean, but just because they have experienced a whole lot more
Well,
than
it
they
depends on
have,
what the subject is. I
I'm
mean,
still going to
there's
listen to a 70-year-old.
so if you would listen more to a 70-year-old, like if you wanted to learn about the expertise of fishing, and the 30-year-old was a all-time champion fisher, went to school, I mean, won championships, you're going to listen to the 70-year-old instead of the 30-year-old
Yeah,
who's had more experience in that area.
I, I'm still going to listen to him
That makes no sense.
because he's just got more wisdom about him.
He may have more wisdom about him, but how much wisdom does he have on fishing?
That doesn't matter.
Well, I mean that was the part of the scenario.
Right.
You
I
wanted
mean,
to listen to, if you wanted to hear somebody's expertise on fishing, then I would listen to the 30-year-old. But that's me. That's me.
well, I don't think you have to go to school to learn how to fish.
Well, no, you
But
don't.
now,
But you have to have experience, and the
if you'd have
30-year-old
told
had
me
experience.
he grew up in a family of fishermen and he was constantly on a boat, then yes, I would probably listen to the 30-year-old. But the 70-year-old has fished at some point in his lifetime.
Well,
Uh,
I mean, I understand what you're saying. I understand where you're getting at. I guess I'm just thinking where, okay, I'm going to listen to somebody who's got more expertise in that subject. But I mean, I think it depends on you as an individual. Because sometimes it's hard to take advice or to be taught by somebody younger than you,
right. And it is.
and I think that's where that falls into. You're going to listen to somebody who's way beyond your age, 60, 70 years old.
Right. Because most, and I'm not saying all, by no means, because I've met a few, very few, most 20, 30 year olds today, the mechanical ability about them is not there. It's just not there like it was in the next generation, in the 50s and 60s generation, and in my dad's generation and his dad's generation. The mechanical ability to fix things or do things isn't there. And they didn't grow up around it. So it's not available to them. I grew up around it. It was available to me. I
Oh yeah, I
understood.
did too.
I understood the mechanics of how stuff worked. Kids today don't understand the mechanics of how anything works.
Well, I mean, I don't know because growing up, I have two brothers, and my dad was, I mean, My dad thought he was a carpenter sometimes. I think he loved the thought of building things and repairing things around the house. So he would try to get my brothers to help him, and they hated it. They hated tools. They hated drywall. I mean, they didn't, because my dad was doing drywall sometimes, trying to repair a wall. My dad's problem was that every time he started something, he rarely finished it. And so there it was for like 2, 3 years, and then finally he'd pick it up again.
Well,
But he really did enjoy carpentry. I think he would have. I can tell it was something he really wanted to do, but he just couldn't get my brothers to help him do that. My brothers were more into, and my brothers are Generation X. Okay. So, I mean, they wanted to fix their cars. They wanted to learn more about mechanics. They wanted to clean their cars. They were more into, a lot of the more of the vehicle trade. And of course, aside from that, they loved good video games. What kid didn't at that age? They were like 17, 18, 19 years old, but I mean, I'm just saying, is it happening still? It's still happening where you have parents who want their kids to be involved in, hey, you need to learn this trade, you need to learn this carpentry trade, but they're not interested. They're not interested. It's almost like, you can't really say, oh, well, that was this generation's just horrible. No, because it's actually happening in my generation too. I mean, I seen where my brothers fought tooth and nail to keep from helping my dad do house around the work, as far as house around the house, work around the house, if I can get it out. Um, you know, like I said, like painting or drywall or things like that.
but they still had the mechanical ability.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, they tried. I
They
mean,
were around it, they seen it, they still had the mechanical abilities about them. Kids today don't. I mean, they don't have that mechanical ability. If I said go out there and change the plug in the lawnmower, nobody would know how to do that or even know what it was.
but okay, so let's say this then. You know as well as I do that technology has changed, and it's also changed in how they built lawnmowers and vehicles. So everything is either got a sensor, it's electronic. How do you fix that? In the 80s, you just took you a socket wrench and went to the truck, and it was, you know what I mean? You did your thing. It was a skill. It's a skill. Now it's not needed because of so much sensory and whistles and buttons and bells that are on vehicles and lawnmowers anymore. I mean, I'm not trying to make excuses for these kids. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, yes, they may have changed, but so has the technology of this world as well.
Right, but it still involves mechanics behind it. So, I mean, an engine still got more sensors on it, yes, but it still runs on the same principle. It's got to have electricity, fire, fuel, and air to run.
Right.
One of those goes out, it ain't going to run.
All right.
But now,
Okay.
it ain't
But I drive a newer vehicle.
it ain't like in the old days to where if the fuel pump went bad, you pop the hood, went to the parts store, give them $10 for a mechanical fuel pump, put it on, you was done. I mean, now a sensor could go out, stop the fuel, and there's nothing to do with the fuel pump or anything like that. So you got to find out what it is. Now, yes, that is even over my head at times. I mean, it's just you can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
It takes too much electronic equipment.
I mean, even you said you wouldn't touch my car
No, and I won't.
because of the electronics and sensors and cameras it's got on it, to where you really can't work on things like that anymore.
You can't.
So, we expect our kids to be mechanically inclined, but the only reason why they're technology inclined is because of the video games that have enhanced. you know, they seem to be more. I can tell you. I mean, my kids could tell you. I mean, how to defeat something in Dungeons and Dragons or something. They know the codes. They can tell you everything like that. But I mean, those things like that are really not essential in life. What's essential is being able to know how to change a tire
Yeah.
when you're on the road. So,
But what is that going to do, say, 10 more years down the road? I mean, none of us will be able to work on anything.
we'll be
And,
asking AI.
and it's almost like that now. I mean, I remember when TVs, if they broke, you took them over here to the local TV shop and they could fix it, bring it back, $20 later. Now, if one goes out, you
It's
just throw it
trash.
away and
You
buy a
buy a
new
new
one.
one. Yeah.
I mean, it's like that on everything. And what's it going to be 10 more years down the road when you can't work on anything? I mean, you just simply, when your skill saw that you buy in the store, you have to have a subscription for to pull the trigger. And it wouldn't surprise me if that don't happen.
I was really surprised when we were trying to shop for a present for you on Father's Day, and I was astounded to find out that you can't buy a drill in one piece. They sell the battery in one piece, and then they sell the actual drill in one piece, and you got to purchase them separately. And I'm like, what the kind of heck is that? I mean, like, can you jip the American people any further than that? That is complete. I mean, highway robbery.
Right. I mean,
I
and
remember my dad buying a drill and just taking it out of the package and ready to go.
yeah.
There was no other part you had to purchase for it separately. It was all together.
And you can't hardly find like an electric skill saw or a electric drill that plugs in the wall. You have to get a battery now. And which is, you know, I mean, I like them because I don't have to fool with getting a cord out. I don't have to fool with none of that mess. I can grab it and I can go and I can do what I want to do.
Yeah.
But that is lost. I mean, like, I'll give you an example. The chair we got in the bedroom with the cigarette string in the bottom for the seat.
The one that I put the blankets on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody knows how to do that anymore.
What, like weaving or something?
Yeah, I mean, nobody. I mean, you go around here and ask, and one of the biggest regrets I got is I wish I'd have learnt more from my papa, my grandfather, before he. But see, I was in the same boat. I didn't want nothing to do with that. But now I look back and think, well, I wish I'd learned how to do some of that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
And I wonder if my brothers thought the same thing. Now that they each have, um, they live in a home, I wonder if they think, okay, man, I should have learned how to at least drywall a hole or something, Um, it's just funny because they both have two different trades. Uh, you know, they pretty much work for a factory. They never, try to trade on their own or any, well, one of them I think had a lawnmower business for a while there, but I mean, nothing had anything to do with mechanics, carpentry, nothing like that.
right.
They went to go work for someone else. That's
Yeah, and that's sad because sometimes I feel like I'm just because I spent 26 years in the building business,
mm-hmm.
and it got so bad in 2008, 2010, I just had to quit. I mean, you just couldn't get a job.
Well, they made it
And
harder, the
and
restrictions.
if you did contract a job, you if you average it out, you wouldn't make it but $7 an hour. It ain't worth it. You can't do it. You can't live on that.
Mm-mm.
So I went to work for a company, and I don't know. I mean, I've just never been satisfied inside a building working for somebody else because I've always done it for 26 years. I did it for me, for us. I was my own boss. I was there, and it's kind of a step down when you do that.
Yeah.
because now you're in somebody else's playing field. You got to abide by their rules. So, I mean, I understand it to an extent because I've been there. But would I go back today? No. There's too many rules, regulations
It's worse
around
now.
every corner. I mean, no, I would not put up with that. Nothing. No. Because I know people who do it, and it's just a matter of time before they're out too.
Yeah.
But you got to remember, I lived in a time. I mean, we live in a very, it's still rural, if you want to call it that. But I remember as a kid, I mean, there was no blacktop roads, paved roads. It was all dirt, gravel. That's the time I grew up in. And I was talking about my papa. I mean, he could he could do just about anything he wanted to do with a fifth grade education.
Hmm.
I mean, he didn't learn that in school. He learned that from somebody else, or I mean, he had a forge and he was a master at it. I mean, it was just amazing the things he could do, and they amazed me at times how he could do what he did, and I never did want to learn it. And I wish now I would have went back and how do you do that? How do you forge? How do you know when to take it out? How do you know when to dip it in that whatever solution you're in to make it hard? How do you know that?
Hmm.
But he knew it. I mean, I remember a time, I don't know, I was probably 10 years old and I had a mini bike with, the motor on it. And I'd ride it from my house to their house. And it was it's probably about 2.5 miles it took me about 10 or 15 minutes to get there on a mini bike. And I got out there one day and the frame had broken too. And I couldn't ride it no more. And of course, me being 10, it devastated me because I just got it, you know. So I just left it laying beside the driveway and walked back home. And it was a long walk. But when my dad got home, I told him, and we went out there to get it. And when we got out there, he had it fixed,
It was
and
already
it
fixed.
was already
I bet you was
fixed.
the happiest kid in
And
the world.
he thought I'd left it for him to fix, but I didn't. And I thought, hey, it's pretty simple. I mean, I could have done that if I knew how to do it. I mean, I didn't know how to do it, but it's just those trades are lost to me, and they may resurface at some
I
point in
think they
time.
do resurface, and I think they are resurfacing. I really do. But I don't think there's not much of an awareness for them. And I really feel like kids would have, or feel like they would have more of a purpose if, because I really think working with your hands and your brain, I think that really makes a big difference in your happiness. I really do.
It does. I
I
mean,
really, really do. And I think they don't have that no more.
there's a sense of accomplishment after you get done what you got done.
Exactly.
When you go to work, there's not a sense of accomplishment. I mean, because you're doing the same thing every day, and I mean, I'm a shipping and receiving whatever they give me a title, shipping and receiving coordinator. Because if it had put me as a what it was the next one up, that had to put me on salary. So
They weren't going to do that.
they wasn't going to do that. So that's the top level that I can have without being on salary. But that's what I do every day, all day long, and there's no sense of accomplishment. It's just not there.
And I could understand there's no sense of accomplishment in the job itself, but the accomplishment is definitely providing for your family.
Right. That is an accomplishment. But the job in itself is not. I mean, it's just an everyday job that you go in and do every day and you get used to it and it becomes like clockwork. So
I do think also people get bored because
There's no
They're
chance.
extraordinary. You can't expect to live an ordinary life with an extraordinary brain or extraordinary ideas or, that's why sometimes there feels like still a void there because it's like you want to do more. You know you can do more. But how do I get there? How do I
Well,
get there?
I think we were created to create.
Well,
That's what we're here to do.
I think we were created too to just keep going and not stop until life just, until the end. But, just because the end is the end, but people will see you as, well, he's dead, but he never stopped,
No,
you know?
I mean, there's a lot of things that I would like to do. I mean, I would like to go out here on this hill and build another house. I would really like to do that.
That would be kind of cool.
Yeah,
I would like a gazebo over there.
I mean, I miss those days, but I don't spend a lot of time thinking about it because it puts you in a different atmosphere.
Yeah.
But as you grow older, you realize, hey, maybe it was a good thing I got out of it because uh, I would have been crippled by now. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, you don't really know. God sees everything and you don't really know what your future holds. I mean, there's a reason for everything. And I think that even today, young kids, even people our age, are still trying to find their reasons. And
I
you
think you
know,
spend your whole life trying to find it. I mean, I don't think you should ever be satisfied at one thing. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I don't think you should. If you reach this plane or goal, don't stop there. Go over here and do another one.
right.
I mean,
And I think that's probably why I'm always doing different things. My wheels are always turning about different things. Um, but that's okay. I enjoy thinking about different things. I may not get them accomplished, but the thoughts are still there.
but
And,
I wasn't taught that. I mean, even in school and even in church or at home growing up, I was taught to stick to that one goal.
mm-mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I say I grew up differently.
I was taught to, if that's what you're going to do, then give it all you got and do it. I mean, and I'll be honest, my dad and everybody told me, you don't want to get into the building business. You don't want it. It's a hard life. Stay out of it. And I didn't listen. I went in
Well, it
wide
was a
open.
safe thing for you. It was familiar.
Yeah.
It was safe. It was something that you were familiar with because you don't do very well with new. I get a thrill out of new. I mean, I get a high off of it. I love to just, even if it's something small, whether it's gathering a little thrift store that I have, um, that I kind of created online, and it doesn't make a whole lot of money, but the thought of doing something else, you know, um, there's other ideas that I've always had. Um, I also wanted to get into grooming, so I did that. Got my certification in grooming, so now, I mean, I've got a very small clientele by choice, and there's some other ideas that I've had. I've got a 2003 Suburban out there that I'm thinking of doing some things with. So, I mean, my wheels are always turning. I don't feel like I should stick to one thing. I've always felt like, and then that was the way I was raised. I was told, I mean, don't get me wrong, I wasn't told, oh, you can do anything. I was just told, well, try it, see what happens. I was always encouraged to try it and see what happens. I wasn't told that you're limited. You should only stick to one thing, you're limited or whatever. And I don't know, and that's probably why, you put up with my shenanigans with my different themes and ideas. But I also think that is something to be admired because it's something not everybody can do or wants to do.
Yeah, I mean, I do admire it. I wish I was more like that.
You know,
I do.
um, I mean, just whatever.
I
I
mean,
mean,
my interests are just everywhere off the map. I'm interested in a lot of things, you know? music being number one, it's always been number one. I love it. I have a passion for it. I mean,
And you do music.
I do.
I mean, don't say, "Oh, I used to," or
No,
"I do it once in a while." You do
I
music.
do music, and I'm fixing to come out with one that's going to blow everybody away. 'Cause it's not me. It's not me. It's not the style that I usually do, and I mean, I've been working on it for months.
Yeah.
But uh,
Well, I mean, like I said, we're in our 50s, and I just want to encourage people out there, whether you're in your 50s, 20s, 30s, you know, just, if you're in a 9 to 5 job, that's great. I mean, I'm not saying don't quit your job, but do other things, because sometimes even doing a 9 to 5 job, and whether it's opening up your own little small business or something, or, you know, don't stop. Keep going. Because you don't know what's going to come about with that small job you just started, that small little business that you just started, or that hobby that you just started. I seen, I think it's like a 16-year old. He's on TikTok, and he buys Oreos, dips them in chocolate, and he puts a cute little design on them. He does do the work on that part. He definitely earns his keep, and he sells them. And it's like, it's an explosion. I mean, it's like,
yeah,
I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, just something simple. I mean, and he makes the bucks. I mean, and he's 16. I mean, the boy's going to be his own. He's going to be a CEO, and he's going to be, you know, having employees of his own by the time he's 25. So, and retired. But I just think that, just do it.
and the other little kid on there, just goes around the neighborhood asking if he can do anything. And this other kid come up with the genius idea on his block of washing the trash cans, the
I seen
garbage can.
that. I seen that.
And
Nobody wants to do that.
no,
I'd pay somebody to do that.
and he did it, and he does it every day. And he said in a month he makes like $1,200, $1,300. That's
Mhm.
pretty good for a 12-year-old kid.
Yes, it is.
I mean,
He's
eh,
raking it in. I mean, it doesn't matter. You can always you can have a main purpose in life, and I encourage you to seek that, because I think everybody has that in the back of their head. I have a main purpose. I have a main purpose. If you feel like you have that, then seek that out, because only you would know that, and God. But in the meantime, have fun. Uh, you know, start that small business. Start that small little thrift store. I mean, whatever. Whatever you want to
and a
do.
lot of things you don't even have to have a physical building to do anymore. I mean, you could do it right
A
here.
lot of people do it
I
in the
mean,
comfort of their own home, or they've got a cute little farm stand and they sell like baked goods,
I seen where right down
veggies.
in the town we live in the middle of it, down here at the red light, they had a lemonade stand set up, and this little 7-year-old girl was behind it, and people were stopping lined up in that parking lot to get it.
Really?
And it just, because I'm not sure that's ever happened.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't remember it.
I don't.
I mean, I've lived
I've
here all
seen
my
it on
life.
TV, but I've never seen one around.
I mean, I've lived here all my life, and I don't recall ever seeing that. Maybe in the next town over, but not in this little town.
Mm-hmm.
And it works,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. I mean, if you're thinking big and dreaming big, or of making some money or starting your own business at the age of 7 or at the age of 12, cleaning garbage cans, um, imagine what they're going to be like when, in their 20s or 30s. So hopefully,
Well, them kids not only, I mean, they dream bigger. I mean,
yeah,
uh, yeah, I mean, if they can do that at 7 and 8, think what they're going to do at 20.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, it blows you away. And what they're doing takes no, I mean, it's something that
real simple.
we don't want to do,
Yeah.
but he's willing to do it. Like,
Well, I mean, I hope that you got something out of this podcast tonight. We really went I don't know how much over we went over our time, but that's okay. Um, think about your purposes. Think about what you like to do, what you've wanted to accomplish. If you know, drop us a message or a comment or something. Let us know what things that you've already done or that you're about to do.
And I'll tell this story. When I left the building business, I didn't realize how hard it would be to get into a factory job, because for 26 years, until I was, how old was I when I went into a factory? 42.
Yeah, he was about in
I
your
mean,
40s.
I was 42 years old, and I'd never worked in a, inside a building. So nobody wanted to hire me because I had no experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I finally got in at this decent company through a connection I had. And I worked there from, I don't know, 2012 till 2017. When in 2015, I think, the company got bought out from a company from Germany. And in 2016, they started laying people off. So I was pretty low on the totem pole, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
So I started, looking elsewhere. And it just, tells you how things work out.
When did you start your current?
In 2017, I started looking like the latter part of 2016. And I was just thumbing through. I didn't know anything about Indeed at that time. And somebody was telling me about it. And then this job was open like a half a mile from the plant I was working at. So I thought, I might try that. So I go put in an application at this temp service.
That's the only way you can get in,
Yeah,
right?
it's the only way I could get in. And I done that. I worked night shift at this other company, and I stopped that morning to do that. And I filled out the application. I was getting up to walk out, and she said, "Oh, don't you want to go for an interview today?" And I said, "You mean like now?" She said, "Yeah, I'll just call and you can go down there." I said, "Okay." I mean, cool. So I go down there and, I meet this guy and the plant manager, and he's taking me around. And I first look, I mean, I come out of a company that made, metal parts for cars, and specifically steering gears. And it was just oily, messy,
Mm-hmm.
stunk. And when I walked in there, this place was spick and span clean. I mean, the floors are like you could eat off of them. And I thought, gosh, I didn't know, I didn't know nothing like this existed, plant life. And I thought, okay, well, this is a pretty small company, so they're not going to be able. I mean, by 2017, I was making really good money at this company, and I didn't want to leave, you know, because of that. But I didn't have a choice because I knew I was going to be next in line to get laid off.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm talking to this guy, and he said, "Would you be interested in a job? We're really looking for some good people." And I said, "I don't know. I mean, that just depends on what you pay." And he told me what they paid, and I thought, nah, ain't no way. I mean, because it's like $6 an hour lower than what I'm making. I thought, no, I'm not doing that. And I told him, I said, no, I can't come for that. I mean, I just can't do it. And he said, oh, well, I mean, we can offer you more. He said, I'll get in contact with you before the end of the day and make you an offer. And they called me back, and it was within 50 cents of what I was already making. And I'm thought, gosh, I mean, you know that God sent me here.
Yeah.
I mean, and I've been there since 2017.
It's
Still,
almost 10 years.
it is 10 years.
Is it
It
10
will
years?
be 10 years next
Next year
year.
it will be 10 years.
And and I've done basically the same job ever since I mean, I worked my way up, uh,
Yeah.
but basically from day one, I've done something with shipping and receiving, which I had never done before. Never. And it just looked intriguing to me. I mean, I thought, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
I could do that. And the funny thing is they put the job on the board and I was still temporary and they wouldn't let me bid on it. And I thought, well, ain't nobody else bidding on it. Why can't I? I mean, why can't you give me a shot? And they did. And I've been in that same position since I think I worked on the floor for 2 months. And then I went to this position and I've held it. And I do a good job. I really do. While I'm there, I do a good job. And the people under me do a good job. I mean, I can't say that they lollygag around or I have to fight with them. They do a really good job. And sometimes I have to stop myself and say, hey, you're really in a good position because you got some good people. I mean, yeah, they got their flaws, don't get me wrong. They do. So do I. So do I. And they got their flaws too, but you got to look over the top of that, you know? I mean, I've been out on vacation this week and not got the first phone call. I mean, that's good.
That's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
And, but anyway, I just wanted to share that and
Yeah.
get that out. But
That's something. And that's something that somebody else may have went through the same thing or is going through the same thing. So you don't really know, but
and to add to that, this company's been bought out twice since I've been there, and I still hold the same position.
Yeah.
So, I mean, things work out. You know, it might not.
Well, I mean, I do believe God puts you in a place where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
If you don't want you there, things will change.
He'll move you out.
Things will change.
He'll move you. But anyway, we'll conclude this one because it's like an hour long so far. So we'll see you next time.
See you guys next time, and thank you so much for listening. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your day.